Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. David Song at the Rehab Hero Clinic, and today we'll be talking about how to get rid of frustrating rhomboid pain. Now for those of you who don't know where the rhomboid is, it goes from your upper back to your scapula, around this kind of region. This type of muscle can sometimes get strained or overworked, particularly if you're working at a desk for a long period of time. So what this typically looks like is when your shoulder blades tend to be protracted for a long time because you're leaning in, looking to a computer or a laptop, those muscles can get elongated and they're being forced to work in a stretched position for a long time, creating some irritation. Now, sometimes pain in that location can actually be due to what's called a costotransverse or costovertebral joints, which is the joint that your vertebrae makes with the rib cage along that region. So, because none of y'all are chiropractors like I am, and you don't know how to diagnose this type of issue, we're going to do a combined approach to target both the rhomboids and the rib joint. All you're going to need is a foam roller and a massage ball. So first we're going to target the rhomboid muscle. So we're going to place the ball exactly where that muscle belly is. Now if you tend to find a very tender spot, you can leave the ball in that location. We're going to take it, we're going to start by lying down right onto that ball. From here, you're going to just lay down on your back, and you want to go nice and easy into it. You don't want to shock the system by dropping your whole entire body weight into it all at once. Okay, so right now I'm targeting the rhomboid muscle. It's going to be right between where my spine and shoulder blade is, and it's going to be right in between those two areas. From here, you're going to start with your arm kind of spread out like this. It should feel pretty tender for some of you who have issues in this muscle. You're going to bring that arm all the way across your chest. You can pull down that elbow to get a deeper stretch into that rhomboid. And due to the relationship of this muscle to the spine, if you look away from your hands, this will cause a slightly deeper stretch of that muscle. You're going to slowly return back to the starting position. Okay, you should feel the tension change in that muscle belly as you move your arm. The arm is moved to pull the shoulder blade away from the spine. And now we're rotating the head to pull the spine away from the shoulder blade. Now typically what I do is I find a tender spot, and there will typically be between 3 to 5 tender spots. And I do just about 4 or 5 of these types of movements per spot. So if you're at home right now and you're massaging this muscle for more than, 2 to 3 minutes, you're likely over massaging and you can make that muscle feel worse. So I always say self-massage with caution. Next we're going to go into the rib joint mobilization. Now, due to the orientation of the rib joint and its connection to the thoracic spine, by mobilizing the thoracic spine, we will indirectly also mobilize your rib joints. So, the next exercise we're going to go into is an overhead thoracic extension. So we're going to kind of start into this child's pose position. So you start by just sitting onto your heels. I typically, or usually recommend doing this on a soft yoga mat, or if you have carpet at home, use carpet, especially if you have sensitive knees. Now I'm on pretty soft rubber right now, so this is fine for me, but if you're at home, please try to avoid doing this on just hardwood floor or tile ceramic flooring. Okay, so from here, you're going to place your hands onto that foam roller, and you're just going to roll that forward to get yourself into a nice deep stretch here. You should feel the stretch, particularly in the upper back as you extend the spine. Okay, and you'll also feel the stretch into your lats as well, which is just near the armpits. Now from here, we're going to add an active component. You're going to push your hands down into the foam roller. So I'm actually pushing my arm down into the foam roller without lifting the body. Okay, so you're going to keep your body low. You're going to do that as hard as you can for about 5 to 7 seconds. After that, I want you to relax. And you should find that you can sink a little deeper into that stretch. You'll hold that new stretched position for another 5 to 7 seconds. And then, once again, you're going to push your hands back down into that foam roller as hard as you can without lifting the body up. And you're going to relax one more time. You should find that you can get even lower. You might notice that your hands go a little further up. And we're going to repeat this 3 to 5 times or until you feel that the upper back is loosened up. We're going to go again. I'm pushing down right now. Hold it for 5 to 7 seconds and then relax. Okay, so we're going to do one more repetition here. And you're going to push down for 5 seconds and relax for another 5 seconds. Okay, so with that, you should feel that your upper back and your lat region has loosened up quite a bit. Next, we're going to do another exercise that requires no equipment at all. I call this exercise a Sphinx rotation. Now, this is really great for opening up that upper back as well as those rib joints. Okay, so you want to start once again by sitting onto your heels. You're going to place your hands on the floor, palms straight down in front of your knees. One hand is just going to go right behind your neck here, and you're going to rotate up as far as you can. Now, the goal here is to get that elbow to reach the ceiling or point towards the ceiling. Okay, you should get a full rotation here. You want to do this without actually lifting your butt off your heels. And the reason why we're doing that is by going into this kneeling position, we automatically flex or curl the lumbar spine, which is okay and actually what we want to do, because this will help us to isolate this rotation movement into the upper back. So it'll minimize how much we use the low back. Now, don't get me wrong, your low back is still going to move, but it's not going to move as much. Now, when you're doing this, as you can tell, I'm able to breathe because I'm not straining. Okay, so you want to go as far as you can while you can still maintain speech or a normal breath cycle. And we're going to do anywhere between 5 to 7 repetitions. I believe we're on our 5th one right now, if you have been following along with me. And we're going to switch sides. Now, even though this rhomboid pain typically is on one side, I do usually do both sides, and this is because when you're moving your spine in one direction, both sides of your rib cage moves. And so if we're rotating this way, our rib cage on the right side is moving forwards, or it's going to left rotation. And then when we go into the other side, now it's going to go into a right rotation. So we're just trying to give it as much movement as possible. Now, ribs, or joints in general, tend to respond really well to mobility exercises or joint mobilization exercises, because that's the only way that the joint fluid, which is responsible for providing the joint with nutrition, to circulate in that joint. So now we're going to go into the other side. So now we're doing the right hand side, left hand, palm around the floor, right in front of your knee. Keep that butt on your heels. You're going to put that hand behind your head and rotate as far as you can go. What I typically find is the side that is in pain tends to have less range of motion. We're going to go again. And back down. And we'll go for 3 more repetitions. Now, I usually say hold the end range for about 3 to 5 reps. Or 3 to 5 seconds, I should say. Pardon me. And that's so that you can really engage all those upper thoracic muscles. Okay, we're going to go for 2 more repetitions here. Okay, and last one. Now, you don't have to limit yourself to only 5 to 7 repetitions. If you find that these are a little bit easier, or you're responding really well to them, by all means, go for more repetitions. And you could do this into 2 to 3 sets if you feel that is required. I typically do these types of exercises every other day until the pain goes away. Okay, well, thanks for joining me today. If you liked this type of content, please subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below to let me know which other types of topics you want me to cover. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.